This is the igniter for a gas oven, also called a glow coil or glow bar, depending on where you look, but they all mean the same thing. So as opposed to your stovetop, which may have spark ignition, this is effectively a resistance heating element that gets really hot and ignites the gas as it flows into your oven. These can go bad, so in this video I'm going to quickly show you how to replace them. But first, as a demonstration here, I have my multimeter hooked up to measure the resistance on an old one that I replaced previously, just going between the two wires, and you see I am getting a 1, or depending on your meter you might get OL for overload, meaning I'm effectively reading infinite resistance between these two wires, meaning this thing has burned out and is now an open circuit. Whereas if I compare that to the newer one, pardon me as I need both hands to hook this up here, get the probes in to connect these wires. I'm reading about 280 ohms. Now this one is also a couple years old, so I unfortunately don't know what this would have read when it was brand new. Searching online does show that somewhere in the 1 to 200 ohm range is typical, so I think this one might still be good, but I'm troubleshooting some problems with this oven tripping the breaker when it's heating up, so this might be the issue, but diagnosing that is kind of a topic for a separate video. For now, we're just going to show you how to replace it. So open your oven, take out the bottom tray here. The tray on my oven did not have any screws. This just kind of popped out. Then there is another metal plate here. This was held in place with a bunch of these little screws. Note that's not Phillips or flathead. I needed a nut driver for those hex head screws. This plate comes out, and then the heating element was, if I grab that, mounted in the back here. I'm going to switch to zoom in a little more. You can see there's 2 holes on the bottom of this metal bracket. They were screwed in right here. So this was screwed into place there. Remove those 2 screws and had to pull a bit because this wire was back there. You can kind of see some of the insulation. Unplug that right there. Take the whole unit out, and then you can probably, if you're trying to buy a replacement, look for labels. You can see this is it's got the name of the manufacturer and the original model number on there, so you can Google that and usually find a replacement or an equivalent online. And then just kind of do everything in reverse. You're going to plug the new one in, stuff the wire back in there, make sure you're not leaving this plastic connector exposed inside the oven here. You can actually see, if you look at the insulation on these older ones, kind of the scorch marks on the insulation from where they're exposed to the hot side, and then the rest of this is pressed through the insulation into the back. Same thing on this even older one. You can kind of see those marks where this is exposed to the heat from the inside of the oven. Get that plugged back in, screw the bracket back into place, pop this plate back into place, screw that in, and then get this bottom tray back in, and you are good to go.